Hey guys, welcome to this video. So in this video we are going to talk about co-working spaces. Now why are we making this video on co-working spaces? That is because in today's time co-working spaces are coming up everywhere, and not only startups, even big companies are taking up spaces in co-working places and co-working spaces. For example, Flipkart, Amazon, they also take up space in such co-working places. So we are going to discuss, since has become such an integral part of our economy and it benefits startups in a lot of ways. So we will discuss about what are the positive points of having a of being in a co-working space, and when should you take it, or how should you take the co-working space, and what are the different types of plans that these co-working spaces offer. So we will straight away dive into the topics. Now I belong from Mumbai, so I have been into co-working spaces. My personal experience with co-working spaces starts way back into my college, and that was, I think, in 2014 when I was still in college, and I did an internship in one of the companies called Geotag in Chennai. That internship was there in a co-working space because Geotag had taken a co-working a place in that co-working space. So that's when I first got to know what co-working spaces are, and how do you feel inside the co-working spaces, how do they work. And then eventually when I started my first company in 2016, we relocated to Hyderabad and we took up a space in one of the biggest largest co-working spaces in Asia, which is called T-Hub. It's in Hyderabad. It's a beautiful campus, beautiful space, beautiful facilities. You enjoy working there. And then finally, when my company got acquired, I shifted to Mumbai. I am again in a co-working space called 91 Spring Road. At the time of making this video, I don't know when you see it, where am I? But at the time of making this video, I still work out of a co-working space called 91 Spring Road. They have offices in, they have these co-working spaces in a lot of cities and states around India. So I have had my fair share of experience in these co-working spaces. I have had a short stint of co-working space in Bhopal also, in my hometown. So for a brief period of 1 year, I shifted my office to Bhopal, and here also I took up a co-working space. Now I'll come to the benefits of why actually we understand that why people take co-working spaces and how are they beneficial. Sometimes these co-working spaces are costlier than opening your own office, but still people prefer it. So why do they do it? Especially in cities like Mumbai, the cost of co-working spaces is also very high. So you could have taken an office from that cost, but still. So we'll see how it goes. So usually co-working spaces offers 4 kind of plans for whoever wants to come in. I have written them here. Number 1 is the open access plan. Now before these plans, let us understand how are co-working spaces structured. So for example, this is a map of a co-working space. So co-working spaces usually are structured this way, like there are cabins in co-working spaces. There are cabins. Then there is an open area where there are chairs and tables, and anyone can come and sit in this open area. Then there are dedicated seats here. For example, this is the table and these are seats, right? So like this, there are multiple tables and multiple seats. So this is how usually co-working spaces look like. Now these co-working spaces offer 4 kinds of plans usually. Number 1 is the open access plan. So open access plan is usually the most preferred and the most cost effective plan for young entrepreneurs who are right now solo, who have just started their company. They are the only founder, no employees, or there are 2-3 employees. So what open access means is that they'll give you a pass to come into the building and sit anywhere in this open access area. So this is a special open access area. So you can take any chair there. So you will not have a fixed chair. If you are sitting one day on one chair, somebody else might come up and sit on that chair the other day. So this is not an open, this is not a fixed, you will not be allotted a fixed chair and desk, but you can come in, walk in and sit anywhere. And usually that is fine. If you are a new entrepreneur, you do not mind having your own desk. You can sit anywhere. You just need your laptop or whatever you need, and you can just take it up wherever you want it to be. So this is usually the cheapest cost effective plan which these spaces offer. In a city like Bhopal, this open access can cost anywhere from 2000 a month to it can go up to 6000 a month also. So this is open access plan. Number two that they offer are meeting room access. So sometimes what happens is that you can probably have your own office in your home when you are starting up your startup, or you can take up an office somewhere else, but usually that office is not so aesthetically appealing. Sometimes you will have to have meetings with clients, meeting with some prospective investors. You cannot call them to your home office, or if your office is not aesthetically pleased. So these co-working spaces also offer something called meeting room access. What does this mean is that they will give you access to their meeting rooms for some fixed hours. For example, if I have a meeting on Tuesday, I can book one meeting room. So this is a meeting room. I can book one meeting room here for 3 hours. And I can conduct my meeting here with whoever client is coming. They can come here, we can conduct our meeting, and then I can come back to my office. So this is also pretty useful in case you are not taking up an office in the co-working space. You have your own office, but you still want to have a meeting at a nice place. So the cost of this usually in a city like tier 2 city like Bhopal can range anywhere from 500 to 1500 per hour. Might even be lower than this, but I'm giving you a conservative estimate, 500 to 1500 per hour. This is per hour, and this was per month. Okay. Now the third kind of plan is dedicated seats. So this is the area which is called dedicated seats. I'll just write DS in short for that. These are dedicated seats. Now these seats are fixed, which means that you will be allotted a fixed seat. For example, you will be allotted this seat and this part of the table. Now this part of the table will have drawers also and other facilities also, but you will be fixed allotted this table. You can keep your stuff there and go to your home, because this is your fixed chair and fixed table part, and no one can tomorrow come there and sit because this is fixed to you. So this is also a very good plan for now this is a good plan if again you are a young entrepreneur and you want to have your own table, you want to keep stuff there and go to your home without worrying about someone else coming and sitting there. This is the perfect thing for you. Or even when you have say employees up to 30, 40, 20, 10, 5, even if you have employees, a good number of employees, then also. So when I started my company, I started with this dedicated seats plan. So initially when I moved to Bhopal, there were 4 employees, then we expanded to 12 employees. So we took these dedicated seats plan initially. So this is how it works. Dedicated seats are useful for almost everyone. Even companies like Flipkart and Amazon, the company which I am in right now, PayMate, they have also taken this dedicated seats plan for close to 90 employees. Very useful for startups and big companies alike. The cost of this in Bhopal can range from per seat, can range from 5,000 to 10,000 per month per seat. This is per seat. So if you have 4 people, you will have to pay 20,000 per month, which is fine, right? Which is fine, because 20,000 per month for 4 people in a city like Bhopal, probably that will be the rent of some other office that you take. Plus this has many other facilities that that office won't have, which I'll come to what are the benefits of actually being in a co-working space. So you have understood dedicated seats. The others are cabin plans. So cabin plans are these cabins which are offered in the spaces. Now these cabins have a fixed seating capacity. There are tables, chairs inside these cabins, there are whiteboards inside the cabins, and usually 4 to 6 people can sit in this cabin. So you can actually take up your private space. This is good when, say for example, in a company there are some heads of the companies who have to sit here, who have to plan, and you cannot plan in front of everyone, you cannot discuss in front of everyone. So you can take your own cabin. Even if you are a startup, you are a group of 5 people, you can take up a cabin and sit peacefully. You will have your private space, you will have your private lockers. So you can take that. This is the costliest plan, understood, because there are a number of seats here, and this can range anywhere from 15,000 to can go up to 25,000 also per month, and this is for the entire cabin that I'm talking about. So these are the types of plans which are there in co-working spaces, and you would have understood that in what stage you should take what plan. Usually when you are just starting, open access is good, will save you cost. As you are growing, or if you do not want to have open access, you have your office but want to conduct meeting in good places, meeting room access. If you want some dedicated seats, you want a cabin, you can go to cabin. The cost structure looks like this. Now, what are the benefits of actually working in a co-working space, co-working spaces? Let me come to that. I'll erase this, my master plan of a co-working space. So I was a I am a civil engineer by degree. If you know, I am an IIT Madras graduate. I studied civil engineering. So at one point in time, I used to make very detailed design of floor plans and 3D architecture. Probably that is still there in me. That's why I made that. So now, yeah, let's come to what are the benefits of actually opting for co-working spaces. Why are companies, big companies who can afford an office, their own private space, still opt for co-working spaces? Lots of benefits. So benefit number one is cost. It saves you a lot of cost sometimes, because when you have your own office, then you don't just have to pay the rent, you have to pay the electricity bill, you will have to pay the internet bill, you will have to pay the helper who is coming to clean the office, the helper, your guard, if there is a guard in your office, then you have to pay that guard, you'll have to clean your office occasionally. So there is a lot of cost that is there apart from the rent. In co-working spaces, there is nothing like that. You just pay this amount and everything else is covered. Guards, mail service, everything else is covered. So cost is a major thing. Second is time is a very important thing. Now, when you are working in an office, I have worked in an office, and you will face problems like internet not working, internet is slow, sometimes your cleaning staff won't come, so your office will be dirty, you'll have to clean it up, guard is not there, sometimes a delivery person comes to deliver something but you are not there at the office, so a problem there, you cannot conduct a meeting in your office, problem there. So this co-working spaces covers this aspect. It saves you a lot of time. You don't have to worry about whether the internet is working or not, they will take care of it. You don't have to worry about whether the cleaning staff has come or not, they will take care of it. You won't have to worry about whether the toilets are cleaned or not, they will take care of it. So they will take care of everything. So the good thing is that you won't even have to worry about things like canteen, because these co-working spaces usually have a canteen, so you can go there, your employees can go there, your colleagues can go there and eat something, probably bite a quick snack or have lunch in the afternoon. So co-working spaces saves a lot of cost and time, both, right? What's the third thing? Yeah, the third thing that this helps in a big way is social. It helps you socially. Now, when you're working, when you're a startup, when you are an entrepreneur, just started your startup and you're working, just two people are working in one office. I hope you can relate it to this, you can relate very well to this point if you're an entrepreneur, you are working on a startup, that you eventually get bored, just you two sitting there in one room for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you get bored and that enthusiasm dies out. You are not able to connect with people, you are not able to listen to people's stories, you are not able to tell your stories to people. So you start getting bored, your enthusiasm starts to die out. So this is where co-working spaces help. They help you keep socially active. Now, since there are these so many large number of startups in the co-working spaces, you can just go and talk to any startup. You can make new friends. You can tell about your startup. They will give you feedback. You can give feedback to someone. So it keeps you socially very active, which is extremely important, because when you're socially active, your enthusiasm will always be alive and you will work better for your startup. So this is another point which for which these are extremely helpful. I opened up a new marker. I already have a marker. Yeah. So the next point is number 4, events. Now, usually these co-working spaces, they offer a lot of events. They keep conducting a lot of events. For example, some investor meeting, or a workshop on how to find investors, or a workshop on Microsoft Excel, or a workshop on making your financial model. So these spaces keep offering a lot of workshops, and these workshops are usually unpaid because you've already paid the rent, so they keep offering that. And you get to learn a lot of things. If you are in your own office, then it is difficult to find events. You'll have to Google it a lot of times. But if you are in a good co-working space, they will offer events, they will conduct events, and you can participate in them. Another very big advantage. I don't know why am I opening this new marker again and again when I already have opened a marker. I don't like using two. So yeah, events is there. Number fifth is networking. Again, extremely important. Now, if you are in your own space, in your own office, you won't be able to network with people, you won't be able to grow your network. Now, what is networking? Networking is, right now this is me alone, and if I build a network around me, it means that I am connected to this person, to this person, to this person, to this person, he's connected to that, he's connected to that, I am in turn connected to him. That's how a network of people form around me. Right? So when you are in your own office, it's very difficult to build networks because you don't get to meet people. But when you are here, you will be able to do networking in a very efficient way. You will be able to network with other founders, you will build connections, you will be able to network with other investors who are there in the space, you will be able to build network with other employees. So you can actually hire through your network, you can find investors through that network, or if your startup is facing any problem, you can find people who can solve that right in that network. So building networks is another very crucial aspect of being in a co-working space. Last point, the last advantage, many other advantages, but these are the top 6 most major advantages which are there, is location. Now, co-working spaces are always located in a decent enough location, in a centralized location which is easily accessible, because they want to attract more people. But usually when you are taking up your own office, that usually if you are taking up an office in a centralized location, it becomes more and more costly. And as you move away from the centralized location, the cost decreases of the space, the rent decreases of the space. But these are located in centralized spaces. So the advantage of being in a centralized space location is that it is easily accessible to your clients, to your investors, and to you also. In future, if you want to call some investor, he'll very easily find this co-working space rather than finding your office. Right? If some client is coming to visit you, he'll easily find this co-working space rather than finding your office. So location is another very important criteria which these co-working spaces offer. So this was about co-working spaces. I hope all of you have understood why co-working spaces are important, how you can take up a co-working space, how you can go to a co-working space, and what type of plans that you can take, what are the approximate costs of those plans, and what are the advantages of the co-working spaces. Now, co-working spaces, to end of the video, just one more thing, co-working spaces are also very good for freelancers. If you are a freelancer, a web designer, app designer, digital marketer, I will strongly suggest you, again, strongly, 3 times strongly, I will strongly suggest you to take up this plan, open access plan. This will be a cost initially, but what will happen is that once you are, I'll write it here, so that if you guys are taking a screenshot of it or anything, I don't know, but I want you guys to remember this and tell this to your friends. A lot of freelancers message me and they ask me that they are not getting projects. The first thing I tell them is go to fucking co-working space. The first thing that I tell them is go to co-working spaces and network with people, connect with people. So if you're a freelancer and you are in co-working space, for example, if you are a digital marketer, and if you take up a seat here in this co-working space, there are already close to 100 potential clients in that co-working spaces. By 100 potential clients, I mean there are various startups, their employees, their founders who can take your services. So you won't have to push your ads on social media. You can just go there, tell them that you do this service. Next time they need it, they can come to you. So they will definitely come to you because they are sitting at that space, and if they know that someone is there, they will connect with you. Same if you are a web designer, same thing, you can connect with a lot of people who require those services at the present. There are a lot of services which are of potential clients which are readily available in these co-working spaces. So extremely important again here that you should, if you are a freelancer, I'll strongly suggest you to take this plan of open access. So I hope you have learned a good amount of material about co-working spaces through this video, and I'll see you in the next video.